on tonight's show. With flu season in full swing, we give you the ways to keep healthy on campus. Emily Graham sits down with Emma Garrett from Thursday Night Cafe. We have the latest on the investigation into the disappearance of a missing 1-year-old. And Andrew Meehan is here with highlights from women's basketball's senior day. This, tonight on the February 20th edition of ETV News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Connor O'Malley.
And I'm Julia Florence. Thank you for joining us.
It's that time of year on college campuses as flu season is in full swing. Incidences of influenza are currently at its peak in the U.S. and is expected to continue for several more weeks. Symptoms of the flu include fever, cough, and sore throat, as well as body aches and fatigue. Though easy to catch, there are plenty of ways to keep yourself safe. Dr. Joseph Breton, the Director of Health Services here at Eastern, suggests students wash their hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, avoid close contact with people who are sick, and to stay at home to minimize exposure. Dr. Breton also advises students to consider getting the flu vaccine if you haven't already.
Good news for basketball fans on campus. Schaefer Hall's newly renovated basketball court is now open to all residential students. This space is a great opportunity for those to use in addition to the sports center. The gym will be open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m., as well as Saturday and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. For more information about the use of the court, follow Schaefer Hall on Instagram at Schaefer Hall ECSU.
On Tuesday, students gathered in the BTR in support of the undocumented community here on campus. Presented by Freedom at Eastern, professors and students alike spoke in support of DACA, an immigration policy that allows people that were brought to the USA as children unlawfully to receive a renewable deferred action from deportation. The Trump administration has been looking to phase out the program since 2017, and a decision on the matter is expected sometime this year. Students, professors, and supporters of DACA and the undocumented rallied around campus, chanting in support of the program, asking for liberation and equality.
Eastern Connecticut State University senior distance runner Samara Johnson was presented with the Hartford Healthcare Connecticut Courage Award on January 28th. The award is given to college athletes who have demonstrated courage in the face of adversity. Johnson, who runs cross country in the fall and middle distance in the winter and spring, was born with multiple disabilities, including depth perception issues and tiptoe walking. Each month, the award is presented to 2 collegiate athletes.
The men's basketball team recently held a signing day ceremony, adding a new member to their roster. Tyler Madden has more from the Sports Center.
End of the hour has arisen.
On Monday, January 20th, members of the men's basketball team came together in partnership with Team Impact for a special signing day ceremony for 13-year-old Andrew Shepard.
Andrew's a 13-year-old boy. He is in the 7th grade now. He's has a medical condition, chronic medical condition, so that's how we ended up here. But he's a good boy, active boy, and just trying to live his teenage years.
Andrew suffers from sickle cell anemia, a condition that affects his blood cells.
It causes pain, it could cause blood infections. He can get something called acute chest syndrome. It's kind of like pneumonia, but he can be admitted to the hospital for it.
Ever since Andrew was young, he has enjoyed and had a passion for the game of basketball.
He's been playing basketball since he was little, learning how to dribble the ball, and he knows so much about basketball that I don't know about.
The team was introduced to Andrew through Team Impact, a national nonprofit that connects children facing serious or chronic illnesses with college athletic teams. Since 2011, Team Impact has matched more than 2,000 children with over 700 colleges and universities in 48 states.
You know, they reached out to us via email and asked if we would be interested because they had someone in the area, and it was a great idea. I felt it was an awesome idea. Spoke with a bunch of the guys on the team, and they were all in.
In his time as a member of the team, Andrew has already been to practices, games, and even was a part of the team's Media Day photo shoot at the beginning of the season.
The guys loved spending time with him, and then he was able to catch a game one Saturday first semester. So we're excited about the connection, and the guys are really looking forward to getting to know Andrew and spending more time with him.
The team has Andrew in a group chat where they talk with him daily, and in the coming months they are planning events and things to do with their newest teammate.
I hope he gets like another source of family vibes, just like another group of people he could just go to whenever he needs someone to talk to. He could just text any of us. We'll give him a call whenever. Just have someone there for him.
Basketball teaching lessons on and off the court.
You know, most sports are about is bringing people together, you know, from different backgrounds, different experiences, and, you know, just allowing our guys to see a different aspect of things, which I think will educate them and help them grow as people as they move on from Eastern.
We are all very, very excited to have you as part of our family. Welcome.
Andrew, now officially a Warrior.
It's a genuine kindness and care for him, and I appreciate it.
In Willimantic, Tyler Madden, ETV News.
You'll see my...
When we come back, we have another edition of ETV News' One-on-One as Emily Graham, sits down with Emma Garrett from Thursday Night Cafe. Stay with us.
I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Emily Graham recently sat down with Emma Garrett from Thursday Night Cafe in this week's edition of ETV News One-on-One. Take a look.
Welcome to another edition of ETV News One-on-One. I'm Emily Graham. Every Thursday evening, starting at 9 p.m., students have the opportunity to enjoy freshly made pancakes while socializing with friends in Eastern Student Center. Joining me here now is Emma Garrett, an ECSU junior who has been flipping flapjacks for the Thursday Night Cafe for 2 years now. Emma, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
How did you get involved in the Thursday Night Cafe?
So I went a couple times when I was a freshman. I thought it was super fun, and then I ended up looking for a job the summer going into my sophomore year. And so I went to ECSUjobs.org, little plug for ECSU Jobs, and so I was scrolling through, and then I found TKC, Thursday Night Cafe, and I was honestly shocked because I didn't know it was a job, but I applied, got an interview, and here I am 2 years later. It's great.
That's awesome. I recall waiting in a long line on Thursday evenings for pancakes. Can you tell me about how this great weekly event got started?
So it started in, I think it was the 2000s. My boss, Father Larry, told me. And it actually started in the Night House, hence Thursday night pancakes. Yep. And it started with pizza, and it was 10 o'clock to 2 a.m.
Interesting.
And it's Thursday Night Cafe's main goal is to have an alternate plan for Thursday nights to keep students from going out to bars. So it's something fun to do, pancakes, activities, fun things to occupy your Thursday night. So that's how it got started, and then they moved it to the Student Center because the Night House was so small and we were getting so many people that we needed a bigger venue.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Really great to hear about all the success of Thursday Night Cafe. Do you think this event has an overall impact on students?
Definitely. I think it's a great place to make friends, make new connections. One of my roommates that I have right now, she used to come to TKC and I was working, and we would talk all the time, just, while bettering and syruping. And we became kind of friends, and then we were roommates, and it was really great because, we built that repertoire while I was working.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So who can we thank for sponsoring this event? It's such a huge act of generosity that brings happiness to so many people.
So the event is run by Campus Ministry, and we're funded by Student Affairs, so you can thank both of those groups.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Of course.
So in the past, there have been themes or activities held during Thursday Night Cafe. Can you tell us about any of the past or upcoming special events?
Yeah, we do a lot of fun things. We do them in the cafe. We do karaoke, we'll do Kahoot, board games, fun stuff like that. I think it was the last pancake night I worked at, I want to say, we had Rebecca Black come, which was super cool. She was performing in the BTR, I think, and one of her, Alyssa Duffy, she came back and she said that one of her guitarists got pancakes, and she was like, oh my gosh, Rebecca saw the pancakes, she needs them. So I freaked out, obviously, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to give her pancakes, I must. So she let me and my coworkers give her pancakes, and we got to meet Rebecca Black, which was super cool, and it was great. So we got a lot of opportunities with pancakes, but we also just get to do a lot of fun things. I think coming up, we're gonna do a Throwback Thursday night coming up.
Cool.
So we're gonna do games like musical chairs and 7-Up and Four Corners, and have those fun candies like the little, do you remember the little cheeseburger?
The Krabby Patties?
Yeah, the Krabby Patties.
I do.
We're going to have those and a bunch of fun throwback music. So we're going to have a little TBT night.
Awesome. That sounds like a great event. Thanks so much for sharing.
Of course.
I've been multiple times, and it's a great event. I hope everyone gets to go out too. Emma, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
Be sure to enjoy some delicious pancakes with your friends every Thursday from 9 to 11 p.m. thanks to Campus Ministry. I'm Emily Graham. Let's send it back to Connor and Julia.
Thanks, Emily. Still ahead, we have the latest on the investigation into the disappearance of a missing 1-year-old. We'll be right back.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Thanks for staying with us. I'm Connor O'Malley. In an update to a story we brought to you a few weeks ago, 43-year-old Jose Morales has pleaded not guilty to charges that he murdered his girlfriend Christine Holloway. He is also charged with tampering with evidence, and he's the prime suspect in the disappearance of his 17-month-old daughter with Holloway Vanessa Morales. Morales is being held on $5 million bond. He is due back in court on March 5th.
Police in Hartford have arrested a suspect in a deadly shooting over the weekend at a nightclub. One person was killed and 4 others were shot at the Majestic Lounge. Police have only identified the man who died, 28-year-old Marquise Treadwell. The 4 other victims range in age from 19 to 34 years old. One, a woman, who was shot 9 times and is expected to recover. Police say there may have been issues at this nightclub before, and now the Majestic Lounge will be required to hire 4 officers for security.
Enfield police say they used a drone to find a blind man who got lost. According to a post on their Facebook page, the Enfield Police Department said they got a report Saturday about a man with vision problems who disappeared the day before. They fired up a drone to help with the search. Police said it only took about 30 minutes to find the man. He had wandered into the woods and down an embankment. He had been missing for 33 hours when he was found. He told rescuers he became disoriented due to medical conditions. temperatures fell to the single digits overnight, so he was taken to a hospital for evaluation.
It's a small world after all. Just ask a New Jersey nurse who reunited with an old patient while treating his son. This photo is of David Caldwell, his newborn son Zane, and Lisa McGowan. McGowan is a nurse with the neonatal intensive care unit at the Children's Hospital at St. Peter's University Hospital. She has been taking care of Zane since he was admitted to the NICU, but she also took care of Zane's father when he was a newborn more than 3 decades ago. Caldwell and his fiancée showed her a photo as proof. Then the couple took a photo of McGowan cradling Zane, recreating the old image.
There's a new addition at the Cincinnati Zoo and Botanical Garden. Isla, the southern tamandua, gave birth Monday. The baby's sex hasn't been determined, and it hasn't been named yet. Officials at the zoo say the mother and baby are both in good health and bonding. The baby weighs in at nearly 350 grams. Tamandulas are called the lesser anteater. They have long snouts that can sniff out small insects like ants, termites, and bee colonies. They can eat about 9,000 ants daily.
When we come back, Andrew Meehan will be here with a look at the women's basketball team's senior day. That's next in sports.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Connor O'Malley.
And I'm Julia Florence. ETV Sports' Andrew Meehan is here with a look at the women's basketball team's senior day. Hey, Andrew.
Julia and Connor, thank you. It was another exciting week for Eastern Athletics. Let's take a look at this past Saturday as both the men's and women's basketball teams welcomed in conference opponent Plymouth State University, starting with the women's team. Moving on to the highlight was senior day here for the women's, honoring Tara Procharena, Maya Villard, Sabrina Lemire, and also Lizzie Curtella, as Eastern trying to stay on top of the Little East Conference. Plymouth State coming into this one last in the conference. Moving on now, getting things going here for the Warriors. Lizzie Curtella passes it to Julie Keckler. Curtella pulls from the three as she gets one to go and knocks it in with ease. The senior getting some points here on senior day. Now moving on to Castleton. Alicia Cizillo having a very offensive electric day. As she'll get a deep three to pull, and she will not be done yet as she's going to lead the way in points for Plymouth State. Nice pass to Anna Berry, who tips it over to Maya Villard, surrounded by a couple of Plymouth State defenders, but no problem for her as she throws it back up for two. As that ball's taken away from Lizzie Curtella, and a deep pass to Cizillo is going to pull for a jumper in front of Anna Berry, and she gets to knock it in. Now moving on to the second half. This is where things are going to really pick up for Eastern's offense, but let's start back with Alicia Cizillo, who's going to pull for another three, and she knocks it in with ease again. Cizillo is going to end on the day with a career high of 23 points. And a nice pass from Saratino to Anna Berry, but Villard's going to be on the rebound, puts it back up for two and send to the line 4-1. Keckler in transition for the Warriors, and a nice two-on situation for Lemire and Curtella as she gets to flick one off the glass. A nice play set up right there for the Warriors. A nice pass from Catella. Finding the senior Tara Procherena under the basket. She gets to flick one off the glass for two. Another senior getting some points here on senior day, as the Warriors would outscore the Panthers 22-9 in the fourth quarter as they take this one 67-47. Alicia Cizillo finishing with 23 points and 4 rebounds. Maya Villar leading the way with 15 points and 7 rebounds for the Warriors. The men's team is also in action on Saturday against Plymouth State. Let's take a look at their highlights. So the Warriors looking inside out of the playoff standings. Corey Muckle coming into this one 1 point shy of 1,000 on his career, and of course the reigning Little East Conference Rookie of the Year, Dante Rivera, averaging 15 points per game in his last 3 matchups. Close dumps it off to Muckle, and there it is, folks. 1,000 points for Corey Muckle, the junior, in 3 years. Let's take another look at that one. He's pulling from another area code. Muckle's specialty likes those deep threes as he solidifies himself as the 33rd player in program history to reach 1,000 career points. And speaking of which, let's send it back to Corey Muckle as he's going to shake his defender, pulls from the 3 again, and he knocks it in just when you think 1 wasn't enough. He's not going to be done yet in this one. Back, that's Manny Sanchez for Plymouth State, getting past the big man Jake McCarthy under the basket as he flicks one off the glass for 2. Another quick transition for Plymouth State. That's Cody Graham with an acrobatic layup as he gets one to put on 2 points on the board for the Panthers. Moving on to the second half, as that's Rakesh Tibby going up to the basket for 2, but that's going to draw a personal foul from Jared Fleming, as that's going to be followed up by a technical foul that will send Colligan and Rakesh Tibby to the line for a couple of free throws. A nice pass right there from Colligan to Seth Thomas, who's going to pull for a nice jumper, and he gets it to go. Eastern's going to go on a 10-0 run after the Plymouth technical foul gave them the largest lead of the day. Back to Corey Muckle, finish things up for the day for the Warriors, as he's going to take this one to the rim himself, shifting past defenders and count it, and send him to the free throw line for 1 free throw. As the Warriors are going to take this one 78-70. Jalen Leroy finishing with 26 points on the day, 7 of 16 from the field, and 10 of 11 from the free throw line. Corey Muckle finishing with 22 points, 6 of 10 from the field, and 4 of 7 from the three-point line. Both teams were back in action last night as they hosted conference rival Keene State. The women's team would go on to win 57-36. Anna Berry leading the way with 15 points and 6 rebounds, as they have won a share of the regular season and are set to host the Little East Conference semifinals next Thursday. The men's team, however, would fall 74-60. Seth Thomas would finish on the night with 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. This eliminates them from the Little East Conference tournament for the first time in program history. Both the men's and women's teams will finish up the regular season this Saturday on the road against Castleton. Also going on around Eastern Athletics, the swimming team competed in the 2020 NESDA Championship as Carrie Buchanan would take home 3rd place in the 500-meter freestyle with a new lifetime best of 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Eastern's track and field team also competed in the MIT Gordon Kelly Invitational. ETV Zone Kyle Smith took home 1st place in the 800-meter run with a time of 2:04. That's going to do it for Eastern Athletics this week. Connor and Julia, back to you.
Well, that's it for this edition of ETV News. Be sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
For Director Anthony Grancelli and all of the stellar ETV News staff, I'm Connor O'Malley.
And I'm Julia Florence. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week, Eastern.